Good to be back. Obviously, we had our prostate cancer awareness last week with the Mike Slive Foundation. It was good to be in here for that. But now it's time to kick it off. So getting ready for Thursday night, 7 o'clock game at home against Savannah State. You know, right now just kind of start with all the summer preparation. You know, we got to start a couple days early since we play on a Thursday night. We had a really good camp. Finished that up first of last week, and really have kind of been in a game prep mode since then. Have come out of camp pretty healthy. I almost have everybody there. Got a couple guys that are bunged up just a hair, but in really good shape to have had a tough physical camp. But went the way we wanted to, very safe, and guys really worked hard. Having all these veteran guys back really has made a huge difference in just our preparation and getting ready for Savannah State to come in here. Their head coach, Coach Rayburn, this is going on his third year at Savannah State, really has a really good record from his previous stops there. And, like any first game, we've got last year's film just like they have last year's film on us to look at. So that's kind of what you have to use in a first game to see. They've got an NFL prospect on defense in Banks, defensive end linebacker we've heard a lot about. They played two quarterbacks, very athletic. So expecting a tough contest from those guys, but our guys are ready to, to start hitting on somebody else, and it's from all the time they've been together. So good summer for us, and we're ready to get started. So I'll open it up for questions now.
Bill, what are the pluses of opening up Thursday night prime time like that?
Yeah, I just think it's so good for our program to get to be one of the first games around. Obviously, there'll be a few other Thursday night games, but it's just something about playing a nighttime game to be the first game of the season or one of the first games of the season. I think it's terrific. We're not fighting any other in-state schools that I know of. So I think that lets us be the game of the state and let everybody see us and get have a great crowd, and plus it's just 2 days earlier, so we're ready to play.
Coach, they announced earlier this week that all the CSA teams would have the Mike Slive sticker on the helmet.
Yep.
Talk about how important that is for his legacy and just what it means overall.
Sure. I think we talked about in our press conference what that means for us to get to kind of represent the Mike Slive Foundation. We talked about the 2 grants he'd helped get for cancer research here at UAB. Our basketball team was involved in that last year. And, when Tommy Brigham and our foundation kind of came forward and said, this is something we'd like to do with Mike, who I had met, really to get to know him and his daughter Anna, who is the president of that foundation, has really just been, really was terrific. And, we're looking forward to that. With it being Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, coming up, I think that's going to be big. And, we've got some time. We're going, we've already raised $25,000 from our foundation and people that believe in that, and we're going to try and get our fans to at least match that and not do better when we play Charlotte. Thank you.
Bill, when AJ came in, not a lot of people knew what to expect. I think Athlon came out with that list of top quarterbacks. After BS, and he was way down the list. People just didn't know much about him. How proud are you of what he's done, how he's led the program, and how well he's played?
Yeah, I think that's kind of indicative of our whole program going in last year. Nobody really knew a lot about any of our guys, and we knew what we had seen out of AJ. We knew what we saw when we recruited him. He's just been a really, first just the toughness he had last year, to play through all the, every game we had and lead us and for the year we had, and then had a really good offseason. Obviously, we've got some other good quarterbacks behind him, so they've had a really good battle. I think they've all raised their level. But, we're expecting big things out of him. I know he has high expectations for himself, and, but he's one of those guys that's not just an athletic quarterback. He's tough. It's important to him. He's a good leader, and so, we're really excited about what he's going to do this year.
54 starts coming back on the offensive line. How crucial is that to have that going into this season with the number of skill guys, experience with skill guys you got, as well as breaking in kind of a new offensive scheme?
Yeah, I think, anytime you can bring experience back up front, there's so many things those guys see, multiple fronts. Defenses are so multiple now. They've been, as we say, they've been through the wars together, and just the combination of, maybe a guard and tackle working together, or the center and guard, and those guys know each other. They're comfortable with each other. I think the thing we've talked to them about recently is, just having experience does not make you great. It's, do you use that experience? Do you work hard every day? Good thing about this group, they really are humble kids who come to work every day and don't say, hey, we've arrived just because we've had all these starts. So we are really expecting big things out of that group.
Coach, your opponent this week, of course, plays two quarterbacks. Talk to me about the challenge of having to prepare for two guys. How different are they?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question because, start with they're both good athletes. I kind of say when you're playing good athletes, one is more of a thrower runner and the other one's more of is the runner thrower, which means, our first one, which was Bell, the number 11 who kind of started the season, is athletic. He's probably pass first, run second. And then Gibson, number 3, is a little the opposite. He's more run first, throw second. So, I think you might run the same play. Let's say it's a power read where the back comes across and you're reading this end. One guy may find a way to hand it more where the other guy finds a way to pull it more. So, I think we always want to be aware they both can do, they're going to run the same plays pretty much. They don't change their offense, but, they might, find a way to work to the skills of one or the other. So it's going to be interesting. When you've seen that now, the worry is you got two guys. You got two different guys, and they both have game experience. So that's one of those tough things you go through as a coach, like they did last year. And then it's kind of a good problem to have now this year. You got two guys that that can play.
Coach, it's the first ever meeting between UAB and Savannah State. What do we know about them from a coaching standpoint or a player standpoint? What do we know about them at this point?
Well, I was referring to Coach Rayburn, his record, if you go look at, how many wins he had before he got there. And I think that tells you this guy knows what he's doing. He knows how to win. From a guy who's coached in the FCS, when we were at South Alabama and we came through the FCS and then to be at Jack State, we know that there are great players in the FCS. What happens when they play multiple games or a season goes on, sometimes depth becomes an issue. But, we can go back to the App State against Michigan, or just go through the years when FCS teams have found a way to win. We're looking at their skill guys going, those skill guys could play in our league. So there's always reasons guys get where they are, and there's just so many skill players across America. There's enough out there with the scholarship limits like they are for these guys to find them. Early in the year, they're not probably as concerned about depth or injuries or, unless they had something coming out of camp. So, you've got a guy who's won before, and now he's starting to put his stamp on his team. So, we're expecting them to be good. I mean, that's what we expect.
Coach, one of the things that you've talked about starting camp with all these returning starters on both sides of the ball was just living on the past.
Yep.
And that we do have experience, and that was one of your things that you wanted to keep an eye on. Did you see what you wanted to see from that fall, where they were stepping it up a bit, where you weren't worried about complacency just because you were a starter or returner, that we're going to be okay?
Yeah, I've seen that. I think, and I tell our coaches all the time, our job is to keep them motivated and keep them on task. And, that's why they call us coach. But I think when you're having to spend so much time teaching people about what a practice looks like, what are our expectations, having guys that have been through that has really been nice. I think if you look at our team, our bottom group, our middle group, that play on the special teams, that might be going against the other unit is better. I mean, they're a year in the weight room. Our recruiting for our freshmen is obviously so much better because now we can do that. I think just our overall practices are better, which, if you believe in practice like I do, you think you're going to be a better team. So I think they've done the things we want. I think this is always a challenge of, we've been going against each other for a month, and they are ready to play somebody else. I'm sure our opponent feels the same way. So, we get judged on the games. So, everything to me is about how do we get ready for those games, leading up to that game, the practices, the training. And, we were talking about it the other day. We've not had one we hadn't had a head incident or a heat incident really this whole summer. We've had a little bit of cramping, but the nutrition, the taking care of your bodies, how we practice in a physical manner but a safe manner, I think that's a lot of the things that that we've been able to do, and I think hopefully that experience has helped that.
You've had a lot of openers in your career as a player and as a coach. What is opening day like for you? Do you get nervous still, or are you antsy? What is that like for you personally and internally?
Yeah, it's amazing how when I you know, we said our Monday was really, you know, like last Thursday, or that was Sunday, and then, you know, so, you know, this whole week we've been laughing, okay, it's Sunday, but it's Wednesday. Today's Monday, but it's Thursday, you know, whatever that is. So that kind of messes you up on those Thursday games. But it was amazing when we said it's game week. You know, you as a coach, probably as a player, you know, you wake up early, you know, the nervous hits you, you know, and I say when you quit getting nervous about it, you're in the wrong business, because, you know, it's about putting a great product on the field. I mean, that's the whole thing we're working for. So, you know, and I've said this all the time. I said it all last year. You know, we really feel like we're playing for more than ourselves. I've always said that, but, you know, we are playing for this community. You know, we're playing for the people that got us here. You know, and we want to put a great product out there, and this is what they're going to get to see. So, yeah, and there's no doubt butterflies start hitting. And somebody asked me, you know, they'd asked me that in January. You nervous? Yeah, I'm always nervous. So I'm, you know, I don't know about scared, but I'm always nervous because I want them to play well and give a great effort.
You mentioned injuries a little bit. Are they just some usual bumps and bruises or anything serious like that? No, saying a running back in a boot.
Yeah, you know, and I think that's the point for. No, we're nothing serious right now. So, knock on wood. You know, we've got a couple guys that'll be game time decisions just on an ankle here or something like that. But I mean, to have, you know, 110 guys on the roster and have a couple guys that, you know, that are maybe an ankle or whatever, we're in really good shape. And, you know, of course, things like the protective boot that people wear now is just good business. You know, hey, when you're not on the practice field, we want you in that for safety and healing. And you know, we're just so further ahead from a medical standpoint than we've ever been before. And you know, obviously having great access to the medical facilities we have here keeps us on the cutting edge too.
So, what kind of expectation do you have from Davis being one of your running backs?
Kingston Davis, yeah, he's one of those guys that had a little bit of a foot issue that's now, you know, healed up and well. And you know, he had the really good spring. You know, we were holding Spencer out. You know, same thing, you know, had an ankle or whatever in the spring. So Kingston, you know, got those carries. Jarian Street had got bunged up first to practice. You know, he got all of that spring work, so we really got to see him and was really impressed with him. You know, obviously getting Spencer back well, getting Jarian Street back well. Now Lucius Stanley is coming back from his injury. James Noble is back there in the backfield. That backfield is getting crowded. So, you know, I think that every day for those guys, they're fighting for those reps and those carries, and he's in that group. But, you know, we're expecting big things out of him.